Today I'll be giving you guys the true tea in my full review on the natural pads by a brand called Hyo. So if that's what you're into, let's go. Hey guys, what up? It's Destiny. Welcome back. So I'm trying to help you guys get your glow up together through skincare and thrift wear. So if that's what you're into, hit that subscribe button below. But today I'm giving you guys my full review on the brand Hyo. They're our natural pad line that's on Amazon actually. And I'm super excited to kind of do this review for you guys just because if you guys have been watching my channel for a minute, you guys already know that I am a huge advocate for natural products. I love things that are natural. I love things especially that are a little bit more on the sustainable side. I am not like the poster child for sustainability. There are some things that I'm working toward to become a little bit more sustainable, as we all should be, but I just think that natural and sustainable products, it's kind of what we need to be going towards. It's better for, you know, the planet as well as better for ourselves. So if you guys have seen my video, I'm going to link it up here for you guys to check out. I actually went in, I think this was like maybe 2 years ago, and reviewed a bunch of all natural, organic, pads and menstrual products. So kind of a little bit about me and my story. I started my cycles in I think it was like the summer between 3rd and 4th grade. So for me, because of all the weird chemicals and hormones and things in food, I actually went through puberty extremely early and had been, you know, using menstrual products since, you know, way back then. So fast forward, I'm almost pulling up into my 30s. So I noticed sometime around, I think it was like late in high school, that my body just was reacting really weird to certain kind of menstrual products. And when I started transitioning into college and started kind of like going out and buying my own menstrual products and just being really aware about the ingredients and things in them, I started noticing that my cramps were getting worse and worse and worse. So when I started kind of transitioning and trying out some more natural and organic pads and things like that, I noticed that my cramps and everything were going away. So if you guys want to see my whole spiel on how I transitioned to using more natural products, the effects that they had on my body, the positive effects that I had when I transitioned, I'm going to link that above for you guys to check out. But this is specifically about the brand Hyo. So obviously when you're using, you know, cotton and natural products, you're still going through a lot of waste. So I started kind of researching and was like, okay, is there something that I can use that's reusable? I saw those kind of like menstrual cups and I was like, well, I don't really know if that's for me. It seems a little complicated. And, you know, I don't know how my body's going to react to them. And then I saw things like, you know, the period panties and kind of this whole movement. And I thought, oh, well, that's kind of cool. But the logistics of it just seemed really weird to me. Like, okay, you're putting on these panties, but you don't bleed through them. You know, how does that work? I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum here. You're either buying natural and organic pads, which are, you know, pretty cheap. You know, the price has gone down a lot in the past few years, but you're still kind of wasting a lot of product, but it's inexpensive and it's better for your body. And then you have this whole end of the spectrum over here where it's like you have the reusable panties and the menstrual cups that are definitely more on the pricier side, but they are more sustainable. But it's like, okay, if you're on a budget, you know, how can you really finesse this if you know you're tight on money but you want to be more sustainable? So I feel like there was definitely something missing kind of in the middle there, something that was still more on the budget side, but you know, that you could get a little bit more usage out of. So interesting. So this brand actually hit me up, a brand called Hyo. They're a woman-owned company, and the two sisters, I think it's two sisters and their dog or their cat or something, they have a really cute story, but they're from Singapore, and I think they just opened up a facility out here in the US as well. Asked if I would do a review of this product, and I was like, yes, especially considering my whole story and how my kind of menstrual journey has been going. So this is their product here. This is one of the clean ones. I didn't use this one specifically so I can show you guys in this video, but I will link in clips throughout this video of, you know, the pads after I've washed them and things like that. So I was like, like, this totally makes sense. So back in the day, before we had all these like menstrual products, women were doing things like this to begin with. They were using, you know, ripped pieces of cloth and, you know, using them for their menstrual cycle and then washing them and kind of reusing it. So why did it take so long for us to kind of come around and have this type of product again? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me that we didn't put two and two together. I don't know. But I just thought that this was really cool. So they actually have kind of like a charcoal core in the middle of this to kind of help draw the moisture, the substance into the pad. And it has kind of, the sides are slightly stretchy, and they have these two kind of clasps on the back with their little brand Hyo. Two clasps on the back depending on the thickness or the width of your underwear. So let's say if you have like a full booty covering brief, or, you know, some boy shorts or whatever, maybe you might use this first one here. And then if you have something more narrow, like maybe a very, very cheeky kind of boy cut or something like that, or a very, very, or a thicker or wider thong, I guess, you would use this more narrow one to kind of keep it from sliding around. Now, this material here kind of feels like, to the touch, it feels very fleece-like, but overall, I would say that these are really, really cool. So upon using them at first, I put it on and it did feel slightly more bulky than your average pad. It almost felt a little bit like when you put on a night pad. And these are like a really, really good length. For me, I'm 5'2", and I felt like it covered pretty well without being like overly long, and it wasn't too short as well. So I really like the length of this. I think this is their, I'll link it right here. It's either their medium size or their large size. It's not their overnight one. I think that one's a little bit bigger, but I think this is maybe their medium or large. But overall, I would say that they're very, very comfortable to wear. They are slightly on the thicker side, but they're super freaking absorbent. So as you guys know, when it's like the first couple days of your period or so, you know your flow is a lot heavier. I felt like this did an amazing job in comparison to my pads. I feel like I needed twice as many pads to kind of get the support that this was giving me of just me using one. So I put it to the test. My first day that I tried it out, I was like, okay, let me just bite the bullet and wear this for a full 12 hours, like first day of my period, like let's see how this goes, let's see if I have any leaks. And I wore linen white pants just for y'all to make sure that, you know, I was doing this whole test legit. So I had linen white pants that were very, very thin, went out, ran a bunch of errands with the baby, was cleaning up around the house, you know, just moving around all day. This thing I noticed did not move, not once. It pretty much stayed in place. I did not have any leaks, and at the end of that 12 hours, like, I could barely tell that this was like soaked. I didn't feel sticky. I didn't feel uncomfortable, like, oh god, it's so full. I felt like I probably could have gotten another hour or two out of this. But honestly, like, this did an amazing job. So for those of you that might be traveling, let's say if you have like several layovers and you really don't have time to kind of like change your pad and everything, I feel like this is going to be a great option for you. If you're doing an ridiculous road trip where you're going to be stuck in the car for hours at a time, this is going to be your best friend. You know, if you're asleep and you know, oh my god, I had the longest day ever, I'm probably going to be asleep for a good like 8 to 10 or 12 hours, who knows how long, this is an amazing option as well. Now, as far as having to change it, I feel like I could get through an entire 24-hour period with just 2 of these if I had to, and 3 if I wanted to be a little bit more comfortable. Now, on the downside, I felt like if it's hot outside, this definitely starts to feel a little warm. They don't really breathe very, very easily just because of this material here on the back that kind of keeps, you know, the blood from bleeding all the way through. So it's good that you're not going to get any leaks, but it definitely is a little uncomfortable as far as breathability. So that's one of the negatives that I will say, but they do have smaller or I think slightly thinner sizes of this. So I'm going to link their Amazon store below for you guys to check out, but they do have different sizes of this. So one of the things that I would love to do is check out maybe a smaller size that they have and see if that's maybe a little bit more comfortable to wear during the day, and then maybe switch to something like this at night. But I feel like that would be a great option as well. So it comes in a pack like this, like they're literally in this package, and you get a pack of 6 for I think like 30 bucks. And they do have their products sent to the Amazon facility, so for those of you that are Prime members, you're able to kind of get that 2-3 day Prime shipping. That way, if you know, oh my gosh, I'm starting my period, I haven't had time to maybe wash your other pads, you can definitely order these. So yeah, it's a period starter kit, and you get 6 of the charcoal bamboo, and you get 6 of the washable charcoal bamboo menstrual pads for $30, and it does come with a cute little carrying case. That way, for me, one of the things that I loved was after using them, if it wasn't wash day for me yet, I'm not going to sit there and literally do a wash or a load every single day just to wash those 2-3 pads. Is just folding them up and putting them in that cute little satchel bag. So I'll show you guys that. It's super cute. It's kind of in the same material as the back of the menstrual pads, and you just kind of fold it up. So pretty much when you take it off your underwear, you just fold this top part down, and then fold this here, and then you fold these little sides in. You clip it, and you're good to go. Now it's not going to spill, it's not going to seep or anything if you have to just shove it in your bag. But it does come with a little menstrual carrying case for you to put these in after they're folded up and used. So that's great. Love the fact that they're washable. And I think they said that, you know, if you take good care of these, and I think they said they should last between like 3 to 4 years. So that's really great. That's a very much a sustainable option. I don't know if those like menstrual cups last as long as that. and it's kind of a pain, the fact that you have to like dump it and rinse it out and put it back in, especially considering if you're in a public if you're in a public place, that's the last thing you want to be doing, is trying to like rinse and wash and do all this with your little menstrual cup. So love the fact that you could just take this off, roll it up, put another one on, and then, you know, wash them when you have time. Okay, so I did look it up, and these are the medium flow pads. So for me, on my heaviest day, I was able to get 12 hours of usage out of the medium flow pads. So that's like crazy ridiculous. Like, you don't get that with normal pads. But one of the things that I did end up having to do was, I think after like 2 days of wearing this, I just felt like I just needed a little bit more airflow a little bit. So I did switch to my organic natural disposable pads just for like a day or so, and then I went back to kind of using these at night. If that's something that's going to be an issue for you, you know, breathability, it was for me after a couple days, is kind of going back and forth between these and my natural disposable menstrual pads. So it wasn't too bad. I felt like I was being more sustainable than I normally am, but it was just kind of good to have like both of those options. I definitely see myself going forward and using these because I freaking love this option, and I think it's very sustainable. They were comfortable, but I do want to try maybe their light flow and see if maybe I get a little bit more breathability with those, maybe on the shorter end of the days of my period. This medium size is definitely too much for I would say like the last couple days of your period. Like if from the middle to the end you have very, very light days, maybe check out their lighter ones. Or for me, I ended up kind of transitioning and going back and forth between my disposable pads. So not too bad, but overall I think it's a bargain. So you get 6 of these. I feel like those 6 obviously lasted me to the end of my period, with mixing in a little bit, just a few of my disposable pads. So not bad. So if you got maybe this starter pack, or maybe like, I think they have a bundle that's double this size and it's like $50, that's definitely going to last you your full period and then some. That way, if you don't have time to wash, you still have like a few kind of in the back just in case. But overall, I think that this is a really freaking dope product, and I want to see kind of more from them.